Okay, so what have you been up to since your retirement in 2002?
I opted not to, pursue playing again. I just wanted out. I didn't even want to be part of the footy fraternity. I didn't want to be a coach or an assistant coach, or I just didn't want to deal with football anymore. Probably, looking back, I had a bitter taste in my mouth that I'd kind of been delisted because I thought that I had a couple more years at least in me to play and pursue, because it was unfinished business. And then, so it left a bitter taste. Mum was furious, and I thought, you know what, I don't need this anymore. There were no regrets, but let's look at the positives too. There were no regrets. Loved everything about football. It was my life, and don't miss it. But whilst I was playing it, absolutely loved it and embraced it. So as soon as I left, I decided to jump ship and go to Greece and live in Greece and, start my life there again. My parents at the time were like, "You got to be kidding, mate. What do you know? You don't know the language. They're gonna eat you alive." I said, "That's fine. Just let me be. I'm a bit of a social butterfly. I'm a bit aloof. I'm fine. I pay my taxes. I'm fine. Just let me be, and I can. I'm only 24 hours away. It's just a trip away. If anything happens, I'll be back." So I lasted 4 years until my father fell ill. But at the time, I bought into an established Greek restaurant in Mykonos and had the time of my life, really. So for those 4 years, everything kind of opened up for me. Like I was free again. Like, I was stuck in a regime for 10, 15 years, from the 19s to my last game of senior football. So, you're a robot, really. Yeah. Eat this, play like this, say this, do this, and, it takes its toll. So I decided to leave, went to Greece, had some fun, came back, hooked up with Cooter again, started Souvlaki Hut. Let's not talk about that. Yeah. That was a flop, but a great experience, nevertheless.
The commercial was great.
Oh my God!
Whose idea was that?
No, it was probably head office's.
Yeah.
And people were saying, actually, I've told people that I was the monkey.
Yeah. Well, that's the best part, because
the monkey's the best.
It's not a monkey, it's a gorilla.
Oh, the gorilla, sorry. Hey, monkey.
And Cooter calls it a monkey.
That's right. So, just for everyone out there, I was the gorilla.
Yeah.
Yes, I was the gorilla. But Cooter looked like a putz, right? And he made it into like the worst commercials of all time.
Yeah.
Worldwide. Fantastic. And I was the gorilla, you beauty. And then from there, again, bitter taste. Haven't worked. So really, I haven't really worked a day in my life, really. I see it as a hobby. So football, to me, was a hobby. But I loved it, and did everything I could in my power to be the best. Yeah. Work, the same thing. I just love what I did. So loving what you do, it's not work for me. It's more a hobby. Yeah. And a bit of a thrill too, and an experience. So to me, whether you succeed or not, it's an experience, and I love the journey. The journey is my favourite thing, part of, dealing with things.
Did you receive any offers from other clubs when you were let go by Carlton at the end of 2002?
No, surprisingly, there wasn't. I spoke to my manager at the time, Dan Richardson, and I said, are there any bites out there? And he's like, "Oh no, we'll find some." I said, "Are you sure?" And then before I could blink an eye, they said, "Oh no, there aren't any." So then I took matters into my own hands, and I rang 4 or 5, and I remember them, coaches, direct, their direct line. Rang Malthouse, who was pretty thorough, but decided not to have me on board because they'd already, restructured their list. Then Danaher from Melbourne, and Bomber Thompson from Geelong, and 1 or 2 others, and Schwab from Hawthorn. I almost went to Hawthorn because Angelo Lekas, a good friend of mine today, well, even back then, we hooked up and he said, "Why aren't you playing?" I said, "Oh, why aren't you delisted?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Oh, let me speak to Hawthorn." And they almost got me over the line, but it just wasn't meant to be. And that was it. Yes, it was kind of sad to kind of drop everything. I had withdrawal symptoms for 6 months. I'd get up At 7 o'clock, going, I've got training. Oh, no, I haven't. Or it's 4 o'clock. Shit, I better get to training. Oh, no, I haven't. Or shit, man, it's 2:10. Aren't I playing now? No. Yeah, it was pretty sad. But Mum was worse off, actually. She loved her footy. My father never went to a game. He suffered from, depression and anxiety. So, yeah, he was suffering quite a bit. Never went to a game, and Mum went to every game in Melbourne. Fancy that! Like, we never had a car whilst I was a toddler. So, there's your bike, son. Off you go. Gone are the days where today, being a parent, you've got to be here, there, dancing and going here and soccer training and wherever, whatnot, taking your kids to their respective sports and activities. I had zero. I didn't have anything. My parents didn't take me to training. There's your bike. Be careful. See you later. Come back dirty. Everything's washed for you. Food's on the table. Today, you make your own food. There's the dryer. There's the washing machine. Have you got rent? Where's my rent? It's funny. Times have changed. And what? If I wasn't married, I'd probably still be at home. Yeah. For everyone out there, if you're not married, just stay at home, mate. Just stay at home. You know it's good for you.
You actually played for Hawthorn Spartans a couple of years ago.
Yes.
You still playing for them?
This was my last year. Yeah. So we were going for a three-peat. Yeah. 1-2. We lost the finals this year. Not the grand final, but two of the finals. So we bowed out straight sets. Good story. Fiv and George Dimitru, Andrew's brother. Yeah. Well, they run the footy club. And they approached myself and Lekas a few years back and said, we just need a bit of maturity and someone that knows a bit about football and come and help us. And it's ethnic oriented. I said, yeah, that sounds like us. So we went down there, we gave them our support, our knowledge. And we ended up winning 2 in a row. We kind of lost our way this year. People they weren't as modest and humble as they were the previous years, and I think it got to their heads. Yeah. So but it was good fun. Yeah, it was great fun. Boys loved it, and the boys are fantastic guys. Yeah, fantastic men.
And you were playing up forward?
I was forward. Yeah, I thought, you know what, this was the deal. I'm not venturing out of the 50-metre mark, right? Because I'm sick of chasing arse for so many years, 10, 15 years. I think, we've got to turn it around, and I'm a forward now. Let them chase my arse. Yeah, kicked a few goals, but I wasn't a renowned goal-kicking machine at all. Even in my day, I go for, kicking for goal, I couldn't to even save myself. But, I'd hit you on the chest, 50, 60 metres out, whilst there was a bloke right behind you. So that, to me, was my cup of tea, but not kicking goals.
Yeah. So, take us back where it all began.
Here we go.
You were recruited from East Brunswick Football Club at 17. Was it daunting training with players such as Kernahan, Bradley, Silvani at Carlton?
Yeah. I despised, and I'll say it again, despised. I wouldn't say hated. Actually, you could say, because I was an avid Collingwood fan. Yeah. Actually, not even a Collingwood fan, I was a Dacos fan. Yeah. So I just loved Collingwood, right? And the minute I was picked to go, to make it, the Carlton Footy Club, as an 18, 19-year-old, I thought, you know what? Yeah, look, I'll give them a go, because I made it by a house. They were zoned. So we're in the zone, and the first question was, back as a 17-year-old, they said, where do you live? The first question they asked me is, where do you live? I said, East Brunswick. They said, wow, East Brunswick's Carlton. I said, I go, really? No, it's not Collingwood. They're like, no, it's Carlton. Why is that? I said, because I'm a Collingwood supporter. They go, I can't stand Carlton. They're going, you could potentially be a Carlton great. I said, are you kidding me, man? I'm only 17. They're going, yeah, but everything starts from here, from ground up, from ground zero. I said, okay. And I thought, well, yeah, whatever. Got my first jumper, and my mum's like, Carlton? You hate Carlton. Yeah, what's going on? I said, I'll give him a go. And mum's like, yeah, whatever, yeah. What's Dacos going to think? I said, I don't know. I said, I could be even playing against him, because I started my senior, I kicked off my senior career probably 91, my first game. Yeah. I never, ever thought in my wildest dreams that I'd, make the AFL. but just through a lot of hard work and being disciplined. Discipline was huge in my regime. Plus, your upbringing is massive for me. I had strict parents. Look, they were on borderline strict, let's say, but it was all do this, eat well, listen to your coaches, listen to your peers, listen to the captain, because they're there for reasons and obvious reasons. I said, yeah, whatever. So I was a Carlton fan. I turned a Carlton fan, sorry. Let's say after we won 1995. Why, you may ask? Is because Coot and I were getting paid much money, right? We were getting 10, 15, 20 grand, right? Well, everyone else is getting 80s and 100 grands back then. Thinking, are you kidding me? Like, we made these boys. We'll kick it to these guys. We're only making 10, 15 grand. That sucks. So it was kind of funny. I changed allegiance, let's say in 96. So I did play against Dacos. That was my dream. And it was at VFL Park. Thursday night, they picked the side, and I saw Silvani on Dacos, and my name was next to him as a backman, as a half-back or back pocketer, and I was on Brad Rowe. I'm like, Brad Rowe, who's Brad Rowe? In my head I'm going, who's Brad Rowe? So after the meeting I said, hey, Sauce, do you want to change? He goes, no chance, mate. I heard that you love Collingwood, and I heard that you're in love with Dakes. There is no chance you're going to be near him. Yeah. Well, lo and behold, I don't know which quarter it was. I actually accidentally whopped him over the head, right? Yeah. And I thought, oh, shit. Right? Like, I kind of went, oh, no, what's going to happen? So not long after, he wallops me back and I hit the dirt and I've gone, I get up and I brushed the grass off at VFL Park, screaming 80,000 fans. I just brushed off the grass and I've gone, God has just touched me. I was, mate, in awe. I went back to him after the game. They won, and it didn't matter for those 4 or 5 years, whilst I was at Carlton up until 95, whether Carlton or Collingwood won or lost. For me, it was a win-win. And we're not playing Collingwood, and I don't know if you remember, back in the day on the scoreboard, there'd be A and B, C and D. Yeah. So I'd work out in the footy record where Collingwood was. Yeah. And have a look and go, oh yeah, A and B, Collingwood versus Sydney, and going, okay, A's Collingwood. No, they're doing all right. So this is whilst I was playing, I'm on the ground.
Oh, you're a Carlton player.
I'm watching A and B's and C's and D's, and it's fantastic, mate.
It's a trend like that at Carlton, because Wayne Harms was a Richmond supporter, even though he was playing at Carlton.
So was Cooter. He was a Collingwood supporter.
Yeah.
And now we can't. We don't like Collingwood at all. Yeah. Yeah. So it's funny how things change.
And you got married in 2016?
Got married in 2000.
Is it true your mum cried because she couldn't believe that you finally got married?
Oh man, I reckon she had a better time than I did, and my wife Tammy. Oh, it was out of control. Look, I wanted something small. I actually wanted something in Greece. Just in a little hideaway, little church, just up on a hill. Or if it wasn't that, I would have been just happy to go to Red Hill under a bloody willow tree. Yeah. Get my blessings there. Where do I get married? Bloody Crown. Are you kidding me? Like, this is not me. Yeah. I didn't want Crown. I didn't want the bells and whistles. We had all the cars and this and that. Oh man, it was a nightmare. But it took us from the moment to this day I haven't actually asked her to marry me. I was just amongst her family, like the mother and father, and her at a restaurant, and the parents had said, oh, why don't you guys have kids before we die? And I said, hey, Tammy, that's a great idea. She goes, over my dead body, we're going to get married first. I said, are you kidding? And the parents were like on my side. They said, don't worry about getting married. Just have unity for the rest of your lives, but just have kids. Yeah. And I said, how good's this? These guys are old-fashioned, and they just want kids. I said, yeah, Tammy, take a leaf out of your parents. Book. And she's like, no, we're going to get married. I said, okay, I'll tell you what, let's get married then. She goes, you sure? I said, yeah, done. So from that day, 5 weeks later, we're married. Everything was sorted. What did I do? Absolutely zero.
They can't complain if you don't do any of the work.
Well, exactly. Right. So I said, the onus is on you. You work it out. We had the wedding planner who did F all, but Tammy did it all. 5 weeks, the suits. The only thing I had to do was dress up. She did everything. You name it. She did everything. The cake, the flowers, the this, the that, the combination, the dresses, the fittings, Ange just rocked up.
You made your debut in the final round of 1991 season against Richmond.
Yes.
What are your memories of the game?
Oh, well. I remember, I played. This is a good fact for you. I was one of probably very few players that actually played under 19s, reserves and seniors in the 1 year.
Yeah.
So I was an under 19s player. I broke into the reserves halfway, played a few games, and then I actually broke again into the seniors in that same year. And they gave me a call up for the last game in 1991. The only thing I remember lots. Not one thing. I remember quite a few things. I kicked one goal too. I was told by the coach to just be free and merry and just have fun like you're a kid. We're not going to take you off. It's your first game. Go for it because we weren't going to make the finals. So I didn't come off the ground. I think I had about 14 or 15 possessions just on the wing, just having a laugh. Again, it was like kicking the footy with your mates, in the park. I remember breaking my wrist.
You broke your wrist?
I broke my wrist 5 minutes before the siren.
Yeah.
And the other thing, I remember it was David Cloak's farewell. Kicked 8 friggin' goals, and he stole my thunder. There you go.
You played 6 games in your first 2 seasons, and then amassed 73 in your next 3 seasons.
Yep.
What was the turning point in your career?
Maturity is a big one. I mean, I didn't know the game that well. Like as a kid, you just know a certain amount of things. But then they just teach you the intricacies. Where to position yourself, how to execute. So there's a lot of teaching involved. So I kind of matured that way. Obviously, my body wasn't right. I was a pitirika. I was like, for those who don't know, I was like a little stick.
Yeah.
I was only 73 kilos. So I had to kind of build my body. Had to drink all sorts of stuff like, baby powder and powdered milks and
Does it work?
creatine and then I had to work hard at the gym and just learning the game, and being coachable. Being coachable is pretty important too.
At the start of 1995, the Blues were considered too old and too slow to be Premiership contenders. Yet come September, Carlton were crowned premiers for the 16th time. What made the 1995 team so special?
Oh, that's right, because 94, we were kind of bad at it in straight sets. So 93 we lost the granny. So it was a bit of a build up of things. 93, we got smashed. So they thought, okay, we're too slow, too old. Never thought that. 94 came, and collectively, I think we played better football in 94. Again, it's towards the end of the year, the point into the season, where they start to ask questions, right? So you could play from round 1 to round 22, awesome footy, and then come finals, you stuff up. Or even if you played the first 2 finals or 3 finals, great, and then you come the grand final, you've lost it. Then they just come up with anything. Like, with Geelong many years ago, they said, he should go, just because they lost. And the following year, they win it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? With the same cattle, almost. Probably, let's say 5 or 10% difference.
Yeah.
But pretty much 90% of the same cattle. That's what pees me off. But 93, 94 were building years, a rebuild year. Again, we would change on. I remember Parkin always saying, make sure you're not in the 20 to 25% after the year where you could be ousted, and traded or dumped or delisted. So that I made it quite clear in my mind that I wasn't. Then usually people remember you towards the end of the season, don't they?
Yeah.
They're like, how well did he go? Look at Dustin Martin. He's done it from round 1 to today.
Yeah.
Where he's consistent. So my game, or pretty much our game, was to play consistent footy, right? And not look at the way you look. Like today, people have got beards, people have got tats, they shave. At our football club, I kid you not, when we first arrived, Kernahan said, we're here to play footy. I don't care how you look, what you look like. I don't want you shaving, I don't want you putting tips. If you want to do that, make a name for yourself, and then start having some statements out there, right? So, Kuda and I thought, fair enough, because we're kind of, there's segregated groups in footy clubs, right? So there was myself and Kuda, and then there's, Kernahan, Williams, Braddles, they're a bit older, they're family oriented. Then there's Fraser Brown and Rat, they're country boys, so they're sticking. So everyone's sticking, amongst their little groups. But Coot and I, we love to tip our hair, we love to put earrings in. So it was disallowed. I kid you not, it was disallowed at the start because it was all about football. Yeah, and that's what I loved about Carlton. We didn't care what we looked like apart from Coot and I. So we kind of set the precedent. We thought, come on, man, like you guys have got to be, don't be so introverted. Just be a bit more colourful and have some character and pizzazz. But Coonhan said, you can have that once you're established. So 93, 94, and like you said too, we're too slow. I don't think we were slow. We just got outsmarted, outplayed on that day, that final day. And then that's what, opens up alarm bells for everyone else and people like yourself, like, journos and stuff like, oh, yeah, they're too slow. Getting rid of him, get rid of him, get rid of him. We almost made it in 99. Okay, we had some bad years in, so 96, so 95 we won. Like I said, 93 we lost, grand final. 94, double chance, out straight sets. 95 we won. 96, double chance, straight sets. And I think 97, 98 were pretty poor. 99 again, 2000. We were back on with a different list, obviously. So, but look, we did okay. Actually, no, we didn't do okay because I think we, what's the word?
Achieved?
Massively. Like, I played in 3 grand finals. We only won 1. Yeah. Not a very good ratio. Plus the 2 other finals out in straight sets. And usually when you've won, when you've got double chances, you normally end up playing in the prelim and going to the grand final. But we lost both. Yeah. So very, very underachieved.
Injuries curtailed the back end of your career. How hard was it to deal with the setbacks?
It was pretty tough because I had my biggest injury was my back. I mean, I did some knees, a couple of knees, hyperextension, so that was six weekers or busted elbow, 5 or 6 weeks. So they weren't too bad, but nothing compared to having my back injury. I had a prolapse disc. Call it a degenerative disc, slip disc, bulging disc. I was ousted for 18 months, and to be quite honest with you, I was probably the worst psyche-wise. I was shattered. I was almost suicidal because I went to the hospital for 25 days, I remember. As soon as I did my back, they didn't know what it was until I got the MRI, and they said, oh, you got a bulging disc. I said, what does that mean? They said, oh, potentially you could not play again. I said, you're kidding me? This is my life. They're like, well, that's what happens, because I thought I was on cloud 9. You're a young aspiring footballer. You've just won a flag. Following year, you get this debilitating back injury, and it just kills you. Really, it's like you've just cut the electricity cord. You're gone. It just zaps you, right? So it really killed me. I was happy more through adversity that I got back. It was tough work, so. I tried every kind of remedy, but the one that worked for me was Pilates. So, I thank Pilates for helping me big time. But, again, I had to put all the work and the hours and the effort to get back on track. And to play 4 extra years, that was, that was probably my highlight. Apart from, if there was another question saying, oh, what were your highlights playing footy? Yeah, apart from all the accolades, being an All-Australian or playing for Victoria or winning grand final, that was great, but on the other end of the stick, playing through adversity and coming back to playing an extra 4 more years, that for me was almost my pinnacle.
How's your back now?
Back's fine. I was still playing footy up until today.
Yeah.
So it's just my knee that's given way. So I still play footy and I still play b-ball, but now I just need a little bit of a clean up and I'll be back into it. Yeah. I just can't stop. And I run. I usually run every day around Princess Park. Yeah? Yep. So I live around the corner, so almost every day. So awesome. Religiously since I retired.
Yeah. Yep. Who was the best opponent that you played on?
You know what, they're all, in their own right, they're all bloody good. And to pick one, I'd have to say, I've been smashed a few times out of 151 games. I reckon consistency was my thing. I probably would have got beat, smashed maybe 10, 15 times. My toughest tussle would have been against Gavin Brown.
Yeah.
Obvious reasons. He's a Collingwood A grade captain.
Yeah.
And played for Collingwood too, right?
Yeah.
And I loved everything about him, them, the lot, right? So I just love playing against Gavin Brown. I played a few times. I played on Buckley for 5 or 10 minutes. Again, I was in awe because I'm thinking, wow, how good's this? Like back in 94, 95, this guy's a gun. But I'm a bit better. I'm playing for a better club. Blah, blah, blah. So, it wasn't about the money, but it was about playing with greats. And I played against whoever I played. I mean, to even get to that arena, you must be doing well. So there's not one standout. They're all standouts.
And the best player you played with?
Actually, there's a few. Like, it depends. I'll go the back line. I can reel so many. I mean, Sice was great. Even Sexton, the unsung hero. Peter Dean, the general. Guns. In the middle, Cooter. Class, right? Braddle's on the wing, Mill on the wing. Guns. Forward line, Kernahan. Brad Pearce, if you remember.
Yeah.
Had 1 or 2 fantastic years. And Spalding, another unsung hero who couldn't kick, could always spray, but he just put his body on the line for the person coming through. Do you know what I mean? Like, there were just too many guns.
Yeah.
I couldn't pick one.
If you had to pick one,
okay.
I'd
go Cooter. Let's go.
If you're doing your Mike Sheehan top 50 and you had to pick one, who would it be?
On any given day, I'd have to go Cooter without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, he was very good up in the air. He was good ground level. He was evasive. He was a mixture of, I'd say, Dangerfield and Martin Dustin.
And he was taller than both.
And taller, and bigger, broader, heavier. He'd fend off. He could kick goals. He could defend as well because he started playing defence towards the end of his career. So he could do it all. But the only thing I'll say that he didn't have was consistency. But on any given day, man, he was a gun. He was like a Kerry. But then Kerry could only play one end of the ground. But Cooter could play all over the ground.
Yeah.
So it was like, Cooter, we need you in the back line. All right, can't help in the back line. Cooter, we need you to kick goals. All right, I'll kick goals. So wherever I was, I'd be like, man, what a gun. Like, he's just helped us here. He's helped us there. He's helping us over here. So he deserves everything he kind of received.
Yeah. Your friendship with Cooter,
did
that begin under 17s?
No, under 19s.
Oh, under 19s.
He actually started as an under 15 in the scholarship side. I was still playing with my at home. So I was disinterested, and plus I couldn't play. I was not allowed to play footy between 13 and 17.
Yeah.
So I played basketball and tennis because my mother and father feared for my life. Yeah. Because they thought, you're too skinny, you're not going to make it.
So your parents were like Cooter's parents, where they weren't supportive of AFL.
His parents were, but he was more of an athlete, so athletics. So he was in the athletics scene, and he was a great high jumper and hurdler. Yeah. So then Carlton found him, I think, through school footy, or may have been, I think it was at Ladle Reds, or
I think he played for Thomastown.
Somewhere there. So I think the scouts found him there and quickly nabbed him, and they lured him in, and then I met him as under 19, but I was 17 and he was already obviously 16. So I'm a year and 2 days older, and since the first day we laid eyes at each other, we met, mate, there was instant synergy. Like, there was a great connection. Not long after, he'd be coming to my house, I'd be going to his house. He'd be sleeping over, I'd be sleeping over. We'd be having dinners at his house. He'd be at my house. We'd be sharing clothes and stories, and then before we knew it, we're best buddies, and we're travelling the world together after the footy seasons. We're always bunking together, interstate games. It was good fun.
Yeah. You still watch modern football? Are you still into it?
Not as much. No, not at all. Actually, this is the first time in my life that I haven't been to a game. So as a 10-year-old, I used to go at least once a year. I used to go almost 20 times of the year to go and watch my team, and then playing. And then even after playing, from 02 to last year, I would at least go to 1 or 2 games. Well, this year I have not been to a game, which is I kind of find it strange. Do I like what I see? No, I don't like the way it's evolved, because they're more athletes than footballers. So the game's always changing for the best. Who knows? personally, I think there are too many changes. Like I think they should take a leaf out of EPL. Now, EPL, English Premier League, as you don't know, there aren't many changes. There might be one a year, and a slight one. AFL, let's introduce this, let's introduce that. Different interpretations. There's 3 umpires, not 1, not 2. Now there's 3. There might be 4. Was that out of bounds? No, it was.
Deliberate.
Deliberate. Kicking out over the line, not on the line. Touch. There's too much. There are too many distractions today that I don't like. But I know they're obviously doing it to get the ball rolling, and they want for it to be non-stop. The other one is kicking, using different balls. So once you kick a goal, you have to pick up a new ball. Now, I don't know if you play the game, but we only had 1 ball. So you kick a point, they kick a point, and you have to wait and retrieve that ball. So you have to wait for it, they throw it over there. That wasn't the issue. I love the fact that I could only kick that one ball and kick it in, and then at halftime you had to get a new ball again. So if you get this is why they don't kick many goals. I personally think they don't kick many goals because they have a new ball every time it gets kicked for goal. There's a new ball that's in place. So kicking that new ball in, it's always slippery. It's not sticky enough. I think that's playing a huge part. Now, I don't know whether it gets discussed or not.
No.
But
there's a lot of discussion about the goalpost now being too high up. So the further back you stand, it was narrower.
Oh, right,
that's what Matthew Richardson says.
Really?
Yeah. But no, that's a good.
There's so, and I love when the ball's kicked, like after about halfway through the first quarter. Oh man, it's beautiful. Like, could you imagine every goal or every kick out of from behind? You have to pick up your new footy. They suck, mate. I'm telling you. Sorry, I don't know about it, but I can see it. And, he's kicked it off the side, or he's just. Like, I'm thinking it's a bloody new ball. But those new balls, mate. As soon as you kick it straight away, like they're slippery. They're not sticky. And they haven't been kicked in. I'm telling you, it bloody helps. Because after about halfway through the first quarter to the end of the second quarter, magnificent.
Yeah.
Many goals, yada, yada, yada.
Now, Jack Elliott.
Yep.
A lot of people say that he was great for Carlton, and some say that he destroyed Carlton. What's your opinion on John Elliott?
I absolutely love the bloke for what he's done for the footy club. I'm not too sure on how long he served the club. Was it 20 years? Maybe 30? Was it? I can't give you the.
I think it was over 20 years.
Over 20 years. For what he did, he wore his heart on his sleeve. Loved everybody that was involved. He was very shrewd, and that's. I mean, I can only think of 2 or 3, and I'll even ask you, how many can you pick? How many presidents do you know off the bat right now?
You got Eddie Maguire.
Yeah, okay. Why? Go on. Who else?
Because he's on TV.
That's
he's
right.
Media personality.
And
because he's
a character.
Yeah, he's a character.
His personality.
Yeah.
He's larger than life.
Yeah.
Well, who else is there? Oh, exactly. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
So there was Elliott's, Smorgans probably.
Yeah.
They were powerhouses. And, Goodnick from Melbourne back in the day. Now, who was Richmond's? So we don't know.
There was a lot. Neville Crowe. There was.
That's right. So
Richmond had the Graham Richmonds in the 70s.
So this guy was larger than life. Loved the footy club. Loved his players. Embraced everyone. Yeah, he was shrewd. He formed a fantastic board of directors. Some will beg to differ, but I loved them back then. Like we were pals. Today, I don't see it, but you can kind of see it through the tally, where they're a bit shy to speak to each other. It's just different today. It's different today to back in the days in the late 80s.
They're not clubs anymore. They're businesses.
Well, they are. They actually are.
When you used to kick the ball, the crowd used to scream "Wolf."
Yep.
How did you feel when they were doing that?
That happened. I kind of. When was that? That was probably 93. Pretty sure 93, 94. And once Journo came after the game up to me and he said, well done. This is against Brisbane at October. And they said, did you hear did you hear those chants? And I said, yeah, what were they? And he said, oh, wolf. I go, am I a dog? And he go, no, wolf's like, you're going to be a cult hero. I said, why? Wolf? What am I, dog? They go, no, it's derived through Valperovic. And I said, who's that? Right? They said, are you kidding me? Who do you play for? I said, oh, Carlton, obviously. They said, well, this guy played for Carlton. He had a prodigious kick. And I go, yeah, what does that mean? I said, oh, it's the sound of the ball that leaves your foot and makes a big, wolf sound. I said, is that good or bad? And he goes, are you kidding me? You're going to be a cold hero. I'm telling you now, from this day, the crowd's going to cry out wolf. I said, oh, wow. I said, mate, you'll thank me one day. I said, okay. So then, wolf came along and I thought, yeah, I'll take that. Bloody great. One of very few people that, get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How would you like Carlton fans to remember you?
Someone who was, I just love the word consistency because that was my game. Just a lovable character, someone who loved the fans. I was all about the fans. For me, it wasn't an image. It was just more, embracing fans, giving them what they wanted. Being approachable was another good one, and just being Mr. Consistency and just a lovable bloke.
Yeah.
That just love them, the club, fans, family. Yeah.